Hi, and welcome to my guide to Final Fantasy XIV's unique content called the Masked Carnival. The following trial is a required boss fight to continue certain parts of the Blue Mage questline, so let's get right into it. This video will be covering number 31, Anything Go-Go's. This trial is a scripted fight that is easy to learn but relatively hard to master. You're fighting against Go-Go, Master of Mimicry, in 2 acts. The scariest part of this trial is the amount of HP that Go-Go has, and it will take quite some time to take him down. I'm going to start with the spell loadout first, but before I mention them, the video I used for this guide is done slowly to show you all the mechanics in detail. The standard completion time of this fight is 7 minutes and 40 seconds. The video clip I used to show this fight ended up more than twice that, so using only the bare minimum spells required is generally not a good idea. What I do suggest is prioritize the required spells first, then fill in other spells you feel you'll need as you attempt this trial. So please, play around with some of the spells you've acquired and see what works best for you. With that said, here's the basic spell loadout. For Etheric Mimicry, I would highly suggest Healer Stance. This fight is very heal intensive at times, and using White Wind burns through your MP fast, and it becomes useless if your HP drops too low anyway. This makes DPS Stance much more difficult to use. Instead, use Palm Cure and Exuviation for your healing and debuff removal. I use Glower as my primary attack spell, but you can use any attack spell you wish. If maneuverability is an issue, I'd suggest Sonic Boom instead. You'll want Flying Sardine for spell interruption, Eerie Soundwave for enemy buff removal, and lastly, Diamondback to shield one particular mechanic. Due to a particular mechanic, you will need to stop all attacks, including auto attacks. You will know if you are currently auto attacking your target if you see the 2 symbols I am showing on the screen. When you need to stop auto-attacking, use one of these methods to do so. Number 1, run out of melee range of Go-Go. Number 2, put away your weapon by pushing L1 and R1 simultaneously on your controller, or default button Z on your keyboard. Number 3, untarget, then retarget Go-Go. Or, number 4, put the auto-attack button on your hotbars. I will explain this further in the guide when this is necessary. With all that said, let's explain the mechanics. In Act 1, Go-Go's strategy focuses on mimicking various Masked Carnival bosses. The first thing he uses is Mimic. This gives Go-Go an 8-second buff that if you attack him at all, he will counter with a hard-hitting attack that will most likely drop you in one hit. This includes auto attacks. Remember the auto attack description I mentioned earlier? This is where that applies. Next, Go-Go will mimic Paginatrix's Sap attack. Once that attack goes off, 2 more will follow but will go off much faster than the first, so keep running or you will probably get hit. If you're quick enough, when you get out of the first one, you should have enough time to get an attack or a heal off before dodging the other 2. Next up, Go-Go will mimic Ultros's Imp Song attack. Much the same way as before, use Flying Sardine to interrupt it or else you'll be stuck as a little green guy for 20 seconds. It's not a severe problem if it does go off, but that means you can't do anything for that entire duration of the effect except run around. Next, he will mimic Durin's Doom Impending attack. This is the same as before. You get 2 debuffs. One is Incurable, which prevents you from recovering HP. The other is Doom. Once Doom finishes its countdown, you'll be defeated. However, if your HP is full, Doom will fall off. So if you heal to full before Doom Impending's cast is finished, you'll be fine. The next thing he mimics is Siegfried's Bunshin. This creates an untargetable copy of himself called Imitation Go-Go in the center of the arena. He will then follow that up by mimicking both the Shikigami of the Pyre and Shikigami of the Underflow. Go-Go will cast a line area of effect while the copy does 2 conal area of effect attacks multiple times. Just stand near the copy to dodge these attacks more easily. Next, he will mimic Papa Humbubba's Raw Instinct, which gives him a buff that makes every attack he does a guaranteed critical hit. Make sure to remove this as soon as possible with Eerie Soundwave because this causes some of his harder hitting attacks to be nearly lethal, if not outright lethal. After this, Go-Go just repeats all of the mechanics you've seen here, so if you've made it to this point, everything should start feeling familiar. For Act 2, Go-Go stops mimicking and focuses on using various elemental magics instead. The first thing he does is cast Go-Go Fire 3, which puts a pyretic debuff on you. Do not move or act while this debuff is up, as it deals huge damage to you. He will follow up with Go-Go Blizzard 3, which is a point-blank area of effect attack around him. So to avoid this combo, during the Go-Go Fire 3 cast, be sure to put enough distance between Go-Go and yourself. Just don't move until the Pyretic debuff drops. He then casts Go-Go Thunder 3, which leaves an area of effect field on the ground. Just move away and you're fine. After that, this begins the pattern that Go-Go will permanently follow until you defeat him. So he will cast Go-Go Flare, then follow up with Go-Go Holy. Both hit very hard, but you have a lot of time to heal between them. Go-Go will then jump to the center of the arena and he will start to summon a lot of meteors. When this happens, use your mini-map to position yourself on the west side of the field. Besides all the meteors that are falling, a proximity area of effect attack will show up on the east side. As soon as you see that attack go off, start working toward the northeast corner while dodging attacks and heal quickly if necessary. Another proximity area of effect will show up on the west side now, soon followed up by a room-wide area of effect attack. Use Diamondback quickly, as this attack is lethal if you don't. Once that is complete, Go-Go will cast Charybdis, causing two maelstroms to appear in the northwest and southeast corners of the arena. These maelstroms will do area of effect attacks occasionally that will suck you into the center and deal a lot of damage. Expect to fail if this happens, so try to keep distance from them as much as possible. Then go to the center of the arena. Next, Go-Go will cast Ice Storm, which puts a potent damage over time debuff and a potent heavy debuff on you. Use Exuviation to get these off as fast as possible. Go-Go will then cast Charybdis again, but this time putting Maelstroms on the other two inner cardinal positions. While this cast is going off, you want to position yourself as close to the Thunder Field on one of the safe locations that Go-Go is not standing at. Be careful of the Maelstrom's area of effect attacks. At this point, Go-Go will use 3 back-to-back Go-Go Thunder 3s. While avoiding the Maelstroms, place each as tightly together as possible, then start moving to another corner that Go-Go is not standing at. Run through the fields you placed if you happen to get stuck. Do not run through the Maelstroms. Go-Go will then use Go-Go Fire 3, so stand still for Pyretic. You can ignore Go-Go Blizzard 3, as you should be out of range already. Once this is done, all the stuff on the field will start disappearing and Go-Go will repeat the whole process starting with Go-Go Flare. Like I said before, this is a very long fight and in normal circumstances would be far shorter. Feel free to skip ahead to any part you feel you were stuck on. This is how the fight looks. Once you've completed this fight, you now have the ability to start the quest A Future in Blue, which rewards you the Blue Mage weapon, Predatrice. This is the first weapon for Blue Mage that offers you materia slots. I certainly hope you found the right information needed to clear this content. As of the time this video was made, this is the last fight in the Masked Carnival. If more Blue Mage content is added, I will continue this guide series at that point. Until that time, I bid you farewell, and as always, thanks for watching.